You know when you try and fix something and you just end up making it worse? I think I've been doing that for a while now. At first I thought I had it all figured out. I just connect my phone to my camera and use the Monitor Plus app and it'd be all good, but that didn't allow me to view my recorded footage from the camera on the screen, and that's pretty much what I wanted it for. And then I went the opposite direction and shelled out some money for a discontinued Atomos Ninja 5, which was great. It had a lot of features, a bright screen, internal recording, but it was kind of heavy and a little clunky and pretty much overkill for what I was looking for. So after extensive research, I think I found the perfect monitor, for my needs at least. Introducing the Atomos Shinobi II. I'm going to start out by going over some negative press that the Shinobi II has been getting ever since it's come out, what, 2 years now? And the main complaint is the startup time. I've been hearing anywhere from 12 seconds to 30 seconds for this monitor to completely power up. Well, I timed it and it came in at 14 seconds, which is kind of a long time, but unless you're running and gunning with a full-on camera rig, that's not going to be too big of an issue. I figure you can put your camera up on the tripod, power on the monitor, mess around with your lens and your filters, and by the time you're ready to go, it's going to be ready to go. So like I said, it's not going to be too big of an issue for me at least. The next complaint is the power button on the side. Is it a single press? Do you press and hold to turn it on? Well, you press it one time and that little remote shoot option is going to come up on your camera. That's telling you that the monitor is communicating with the camera, which means it's powering on. So one press to turn the monitor on. Now to turn it off, that's a different case. We actually need to press and hold that button in for about 3 seconds for it to completely power off the whole unit. The next complaint we have is actually a legitimate complaint if you ask me. It's this black bevel we have around the outside of the screen. It's a good ½ inch of valuable viewing space that we could be getting if they just extended that out. I have a feeling they're going to fix that in the near future with all these monitors because they do it with the cell phones. They go edge to edge and there's no reason they can't do it with these monitors. But for now, it's a lot larger than my camera's viewing screen, so I'm pretty happy with that. And with the Shinobi II being so lightweight and compact, this is the nicest thing about it. I can actually keep it on my camera in my bag at all times. Just pull it out, tilt it up, take off my handy Amazon $6 cover, and it's ready to go. And it's so lightweight that you can shoot handheld with it. That's another plus. You can barely tell it's even there. I'm going to put the camera up on the tripod here and go over some design and build features that I'm pretty excited about. On the back of the Shinobi II, we have 2 ports, a USB-C port and an HDMI port. And of course, they're located on the back, which is nice because it keeps these wires clean and out of the way. In the middle, we have a battery slot that takes the NPF small batteries and large batteries. I like to use the small batteries because it keeps the Shinobi II lightweight and compact. And then we go to the side here. We have your power button and we have an SD card slot. The SD card is only used for loading firmware and LUTs on the monitor. Then we go over to the other side here. We have a headphone jack and we have a little remote port. And on the bottom, of course, we have the 1/4 inch screw threads so we can mount the monitor to our camera. And that's it. This is something I was actually really worried about since I shoot outdoors all the time. I have the sun shining on me. And these monitors are rated at 1,000 nits, 1,500 nits, 2,000 nits. But it seems like there's always a glare from the sun on it, so you need to use a sun hood to help you see. But right now I have the sun shining directly on this monitor and I can still see fine. So it's rated at 1,500 nits. And there must be some kind of sun glare filter also on here because I can see perfectly. So that's a big plus for this monitor. And the main reason I need this monitor for is to review the footage I just shot, make sure it's all in focus, framed, and ready to go. Let's check it out. All we have to do is press the preview button on our camera here, and it should bring up everything that we have stored on our SD card. And we can check out all our photos and videos that we shot for the day, make sure everything's in focus and framed and looking good. We can watch the video right there on this nice big screen. And we can also use the magnifying function there to zoom in and make sure everything in the background is in focus. So like I said, this is the feature that I use most on these monitors because it saves me a lot of time coming back to reshoot things that weren't in focus or weren't framed just right. So this is going to really help me out. If you're powering on the Shinobi 2 for the first time, you'll notice that the screen is all cropped and it looks like you have camera displays on top of tools from the Shinobi, and it's just all cluttered. That's only because in the camera menu, you need to go in and turn HDMI info display to off. Once we do that, we'll get a nice big screen and the display will come on our camera also. In the top left corner, we have camera, battery, and remaining shots. And if you click on that again, you get a few more items. We have picture quality, drive mode, and focus mode. And you'll see if I change the focus mode on the camera to manual focus, it changes it right there on the screen too. And then we'll click on that again to hide that and give us a little more viewing area. And on the bottom row here, we have all the tools that the Shinobi 2 has to offer. Starting on the left side, we have full screen mode. This gets rid of some things and gives us even more viewing area. Click on that again to bring back our tools. The next one over is the camera icon. This is all the stuff that you can control on your camera right here on the screen. We have white balance, shutter speed, aperture, ISO. I'm probably not going to change any of these because I have presets set on my camera, but they are there if you need them. This little button here is the record button, so you can stop and start recording. I think mine doesn't work because I programmed my two buttons, the record and the shutter button, to both record video, so I think that's interfering with that. I will check that out later. And if I click on the camera button again, we get back to the tool menu. The next one over, we have the zoom function. I really like this because you can click on that and you got 2 times zoom and you have 4 times zoom. This is just helping you zoom in on your subject. It's not actually zooming in on it, but it's helping you see and making sure everything's in focus. So I'll be using that a lot. Get out of that. The next one over, it looks like we have false color. We won't be messing with that. And this one here, it has some scopes, a histogram, it has our audio levels, and it has the brightness. We can adjust for the brightness of those tools. And then the next one over, we have the histogram. I will keep that on at all times. I need that. And then we have our zebras. I will keep that on so we can see what's overexposed. And then we have scopes. I won't use that because when I click on that, it takes my histogram away. So I will keep the histogram instead. And then we have our focus peaking. You can't see it real well on the screen, but I will adjust that so we can see it better. You're supposed to be able to see all the red areas that are in focus. So next one over, I'll keep that on. And then the next one over, we have our ratio. This just gives you the guides on the screen. So if you're shooting in different formats for social media or something, it will show you the lines and where to frame it. It's kind of nice. And it has a lot of them to choose from here. Get back to where we were. Right. Boy, there's a lot right there. And then the next one over, we have guidelines. I will keep that on all the time, so make sure it's framed nice and straight. Then on the next one here, we have the desqueeze tool. That's if you're using an anamorphic lens. It has all these different adjustments for different lenses, so we can click through there and see what they have. I probably won't need that. And then we have the camera markers here, which I won't need those. Click that, that. Then on the end here, we have our settings, and this is the settings for all our tools. We got their monitor, LUTs, display, waveform, focus peaking, zebras, and that's just going to let you adjust the color and the strengths and the opacity for all the different tools. Click off of that. And then if we go to full screen again here, there's a different setting. We can click on that, and that just shows us some display information for the camera. Like on the input here, we have all this. We have the camera status, the TC display, and down here we have the camera output standard. We have the Rec 709, and then we go to controls. In here we can turn off the tap to focus if we don't want to use that in there, but I'm going to keep that on because that comes in handy. We got our headphones, battery info, and just some firmware info. So if you want to get to that part, you have to go into full screen, and then that appears. And that's everything the Shinobi 2 has to offer. Even the menu is compact. It's the perfect size and has more than enough features, for what I need at least. Let me know in the comments below if you use the Shinobi 2 and know of any hidden features or have any tips for me, or if you have a similar monitor that you think would have been a better fit. I think for now I'm going to be sticking with the Shinobi 2 because it's lightweight, compact, and with the Atomos name, you know it's going to be reliable.